Yes, look at that. Come on. Let's attack those guys. Let's retweet that. Let's send them tweets. I hear them. I hear them. I don't see them though. Hello, Jesse? Can you hear me?
Yeah, 1 second.
Woo! I cannot
Can
see
you hear me?
Yeah, I do hear you.
1 second. My volume's really low for some reason.
I think it's okay over here. Please, guys in the audience, let me know if the audio is okay. But I can see your pretty face though. And I remember that you had a pretty face.
Oh yeah, I got one of the best ones. 1 second. Turn the video. Okay, for this.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Oh my God, I can see you. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. I'm gonna play the little intro, my friend. It's gonna take like 5 seconds, and then you'll be live for everybody else. All right, it's happening right now.
Super.
Awesome people I'd like to meet! Woo! Okay, it worked perfectly. We are here with Mr. Jesse from Slick Entertainment. He's an awesome people I'd like today for today. How you doing, man?
Great, great. How are you, man? How are you? Are you good? Are you good?
I am great. So, whoa, the chat is right over my face. Okay, that's kind of rude. Hang on. So I heard that you had some good time yesterday night?
I did. I went to a Def Heaven concert and I was out way too late. But I'm here now and I'm ready. I'm ready to rock. I'm ready to rock.
Nice, man. That's why you're here. So good, man. Please present yourself to the show. Present yourself to the audience. Say how awesome you are. Tell your story. You're in the spotlight for about 20-30 minutes, whatever. Or how long you have time to give us. So it's super casual.
Sure.
Let's just talk about game development and stuff.
Cool, for sure thing. Yeah, so my name's Jesse Turner. I go by the Drawbarian. I work here at Slick Entertainment. Slick Entertainment, and that's Slick Entertainment Inc. in the chat. That's Nick Wanders. That's our coder. That's our CEO. We're a three-man outfit. We're making a game called Viking Squad.
You are
like,
three men?
Yeah. Three core in the office here,
okay.
And we work alongside Power Up Audio. Those wonderful guys that worked on stuff like Darkest Dungeon and stuff like
Necromancer. Kevin Rigamy.
Awesome guys. Yeah, exactly. Kevin Regamy, super hexagon master, right?
Yeah, he beat me to Super Hexagon. He humiliated me.
Yeah, the kid's actually like won medals for that game. It's unreal.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so we're building a like a brawler, like a brawler, but you know when you play fighting games like Streets of Rage and Castle Crashers and stuff, you know that the Z-axis is a little bit wishy-washy.
Yep.
So we locked everything onto lanes. So it's like we have like a retro lane system, and then we have a cool brawler where you can unlock new equipment and stuff like that. And there's Vikings in it, so yeah, that's what we're doing.
There you go. Yeah.
I've been working in games for about like 10 years or something like that, 9-10 years.
Whoa, all indies or from the industry here and there? Or?
I've bounced around. I started out in indie film. I was moving lights around.
Okay.
And then I got into games a little bit, some AAA stuff. Then I went back into cartoons. Then I came back into indie stuff. Because when I was in AAA, I was doing everybody. It was kind of that generation where everybody just wanted the next Modern Warfare kind of thing. So my art style definitely didn't fit in.
Yeah,
so luckily after a little bit of time in drawing for some cartoons, I branched out. I got hired on by Nick here at Slick Entertainment, and we built Shellraiser iOS. It did good for us, and now we're working on Viking Squad. So yeah.
Sweet, man. I really love your art, by the way. It really reminds me of Berserk Studios' art. So you're probably pretty close.
I gotta meet Mark because I love his stuff. He's really awesome.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys do that. I mean, I'm just a coder, so I like to say that. I'm just a coder.
Just a coder. But you cannot say that.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like for me, like just drawing a stick man is like it takes like 100% of my brain, and then it looks like horrible. I mean, my kids are better than me in drawing, so I can just like don't start imagine how.
Yeah, well, that's like cheap labor, right? Just get your kids to draw the stuff now.
I actually have a plan for that, by the way. Kids on this. I want to make a game called "Where Do Baby Come From" RPG. Just by the name, you want to play, right? And I want to use like the drawings of my kids and everything. So when I will stop working on like 5 different projects, I will hop on that one. Just a little minute, guys. I want to talk to you guys in the audience. Please, if you have any question for Jesse here, use the Lachhh Friends RPG, the little game. You can ask question over there, and you will appear on the show, like right there, showing like up and say like, hey, what's your question, whatever. So if you have a question for Jesse, use the application, and you will appear right in the show. So Hang on, just finish. Actually, let's start with a question right away, just to show to people what's happening. So I got the pad user ask. That's what's gonna happen. Yeah, I said earlier that my layout was all messed up. Hang on, hang on. This release, it's happening live, guys. That's why that's live televisions. That is live television. Okay, it should be working now. Woo! Okay, the pad user is asking, did you ever get to a point where you just want to finish Viking Squad to start something new?
Yeah, I definitely think that no matter what you're doing, sure, that happens. I think the danger is it's so much fun to start something, and it's such a pain to finish something.
Dude, that comes over every single week when I interview somebody else. It's like, starting a project is easy, finishing one is fucking a pain.
Yeah, a good friend of ours, Shane Neville, he's working on Bunker Punks now. It's a really cool game. Mm-hmm. They're he did this great talk. He said, get addicted to shipping, starting get addicted to that feeling of actually completing something, because it's like the hardest. And we even we know, but they start so many projects, they just can't finish any.
Yeah.
that kind of sucks. It kind of sucks because the beginning of the projects are great because there's so much energy in it, but to really build something, it is to wrap it up, and that's
and that's where I believe you get the most experience when you actually release a game, because you can start a lot of prototype, but just like abandon a lot of prototype, never ship a thing, and you won't have as much experience as somebody who made less game but released more,
then again, this is coming from you. You've done like 26 games.
Yeah.
That's like a lot of games.
It's only Flash games, and Flash is dead anyway.
How have you found that, if you don't mind my asking? Like the movement of Flash, maybe
the Flash is dead thing. I often say, I got that question asked twice a day on my channel, especially since I'm still using that. But I feel like Flash is dead. I feel like people what they want to say is web gaming is dead, or should I say web gaming is dying. So, and since there's 95% of web gaming is Flash, that's why they say Flash is dead, But Flash as a software, as something that can produce animation or games, I don't think that's dying. I mean, I think that they still have the AAA games that use Flash to make their interface, to make the UI. They're still gonna have the animation studio who still use Flash. So Flash as a software, I don't think that's in danger. But the web gaming, I think that yes, it is dying. And I showed some number myself actually. Again, I'm saying it's dying, it's not dead, but it's dying. Like, for example, when I released the game in 2010, 2011, we got, in average, 8 to 12 million views. So 8 to 12 million views. And I released a game called SkyQuest last year. It's exactly last year. And we got 1 million users, so 2 million views in the end, So that's still
that's still pretty big tip. Wow.
So it's still a big number. So it's still okay, it's 5 times less than what it was before, but it's still 1 million users. So I think that you cannot make as much money, or if money at all, with Flash games, but you can still use that as a test. You can have a lot of users to test your game, to tweak your game, and to promote your game. So you can use that platform to promote other stuff on your other. You can still promote your brand and stuff. So.
Oh, that's cool.
That's my. You can see that I have answered that question a lot. It's a pretty
canned response. No. That's good. I appreciate that.
Yeah, sure.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
I got Superkill-O-Matic says. Yep. Let's ask the normal question first. What would I be doing if I wasn't doing this?
Good question.
That's a pretty good question. I actually honestly never thought of that.
You never had to think about that.
That's how sure I am that I'm in the right place. I don't know, I enjoy drawing. I like comics and stuff, but working on a comic is probably one of the hardest things I've ever done. And I draw a lot and I draw fast, and I still think comics is asking too much of the artist, to be honest. It's so much work to get the writing, get the gutter, get the placement, get the composition, and I think I would still try to find some place to be in games. I just love it too much. I'm a little bit. I think it's also because I'm a little bit or a lot lazy, because art in games works way harder than art on a paper.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm actually just sketching right now to kind of wake up here. But yeah, so I think I definitely try to stay in games, because comics is way too hard.
Yeah, that's a hard question to say. What would you do if you don't do that? It's I already making a lot of sacrifice to do what I'm doing right now. And I mean, everybody, like most of the people who are indie now, they came from the industry, and now they're to the point where they gain less money, but they really love their job, you know. And I think that the plan B will still be like, well, I could go back to industry if something goes bad. I don't know.
Yeah, I think like all of us, all our backgrounds like AAA studios, like bigger studios, and then of course like you as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
You started in the bigger studios, and you're like, you know, I'd rather just like it's awesome because there's that risk, it's cool because I've never actually traveled before ever until I started working in indie games, which makes no sense. It doesn't even think about it because at the AAA studios, the grunts don't go anywhere. Yeah. So the people like me that were modeling park benches and modeling, roads and stuff, like they don't send me to E3 or something like that because that's like a waste of money. But here at Slick, we're like, okay, cool, GDC, all three of us, let's just go because that's the whole studio.
yeah, totally.
It's also a little compartmentalized because everyone, you can actually just meet the whole team in the space of like 5 minutes, which is kind of cool too.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I love being indie because like you don't, as you said, you don't only specialize on one thing. I mean, for me, if I want to just say that for myself, I'm a coder, so I'm like. I never had to be like super social or whatever, you know. I'm just like in front of my computer or whatever. So I'm fine being alone in the room for a long period of time. And now here I am putting my face on the internet every single day and having a show. That's really weird. But if I had like a AAA job, I would never had that. I would never experience that thing. So that's weird. You learn a lot of
like
stuff.
just imagine going up to your boss and saying like, "Hey, can I show everyone online what I'm doing and what I'm working on right now?
Can I scream every single fucking day for 4 hours straight?"
exactly. And that's what's cool because it's changed so much, and that's what's really exciting about it. And your show, by the way, is like absolutely killer. I can't believe.
Dude, thank you very much.
We're all big fans of your stuff.
Well, you just need a lot of heavy metals, bloods, and fire and stuff. So that's it.
It's just that easy. Right?
Have I told you that it started up because I assumed that I will be boring? When I started that on Twitch, I was like, okay, let's assume that I will suck because I was not a camera guy at all. I was like, okay, I think that I will just suck and I won't be good at all.
Right.
Let's assume that. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna surround myself with cool stuff like professional layout, like animations on the spot, and gamify the show and everything. So at least if people don't enjoy me, they will enjoy the rest. You know, they will enjoy the flames and the heavy metals and stuff. And then I grew confident around that stuff. So yeah, it amused me that it's because I assumed that I sucked that I put all those times on that.
That's actually funny. I have a lot of stuff online, like a lot of art I did, and I thought that I never thought I was good enough to really be an artist. So I actually wrote big dumb stories to go along with every character I made up, just in case they didn't like the art. They could maybe find something. They could maybe like something about the piece. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I kind of tried to cover my bases a little bit, like what you did there, to kind of mask your shortcomings.
Yeah.
But then again, I honestly don't think you had anything to worry about.
We got another question from the audience right here. We got what is
your...
Hey
everybody, hey chat.
We got iAnimators asking, what is your animation process?
Oh, our animation process. Okay, so we actually, if you look at Viking Squad, everything's in puppets. Everything's like little pieces of art that we actually attach to a bone. It's actually really similar to a program called Spine.
Yep.
Now, why we did that? A is because frame by frame animation is something I'm not very good at.
Okay.
And also with this bone system, we can actually swap out gear, right? Like we can put helmets on, we can put shoulders on. So I basically do a rough sketch of a guy, and then I'll draw each little piece individually, and we'll put it all in, hook it up to bones, move them all around, and animate them that way.
Okay.
Basically, Nick saw. Well, we saw Spine, and I'm messing around with it. I'm like, yeah, I could use this. And Nick's like, okay, and then he kind of like built it. He just built his own version of it so that he could use the same files, right, in his engine. I gotta say, the guy's out of control. Nick is a pretty crazy coder.
Is he here?
Yeah. He's hanging on the chat. If anyone has code questions, he's in there, and he's also right behind me. He's in the gray shirt.
Shy. I can see his shoulder. He looks pretty. That's a pretty shoulder.
It's a tall, strong Dutch shoulder. Yeah. So and then I put the animation in, and then Nick says, "Jess, it looks like crap," and then Nick jumps on the animation, and then Nick tweaks it around, and then
Okay.
Kaylee jumps on the animation, and we all just kind of jump on the animation until it looks passable.
Okay.
Between the three of us, there's a half decent, maybe animator.
Okay. So you there you go.
Yeah, there's a big
Hey
hype.
Nick. Sweet. So okay, so you're there's not like a one guy animator, just like you pass around the hat around the studio until it looks good. Sweet.
Yep.
Sweet.
It's I know it's not the best, and but you do with what you got, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I know that in our core team in Berserk, we had no sound designer, so it was like, okay, what should we do? And it was Flash Games, so we could not really hire a guy. Well, first, we didn't know anybody. So
Right.
that's like a big first right there. And the second, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it out because I liked like sounds, and I played piano for 10 years and stuff. So I just I liked that. So in the end, it was like, okay, let's do something with that. And you grow some skills, and then you pass around the studio and say, hey, what do you think about that? Blah blah. So you just fill the gap. So I know what you talk about. Like, let's just do it because we don't know how to do it, but let's just fucking do it. That's it.
Yeah, and I think that's also because that's like where marketing guys get in, because I think when you're finished your game, that's when you need to actually turn it on and try to get everyone to know about it.
Yeah.
And so we have to fill that gap as well, which is it's your challenge. But then again, if let's say things go well with your small team, then it goes well for your whole small team,
Mhm,
which is
yeah.
the what's good and what's bad about working this small.
So how long have you been working on Viking Squad then?
About I'd say almost 2 years now.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, years,
Is
and
that-
we're wanting to get her done next year, like early-ish next year, somewhere around there.
Okay. So I mean, I've heard about Viking Squad for a long time actually.
Oh,
I
really?
always, I always was with the guys from Night Squad.
Night
the
Squad,
other
of course.
squad
Yeah,
guys.
I know them.
So
Yeah.
like they're here from the city, and we always joked around, say like Viking Squad is the best squad games. Like we'd always like we always like nag them with that. Like it's the better squad of the two, whatever. So it goes back to that joke goes back to like a year or so. So you've been around to PAXs here and there for a long time.
Yeah, that's right. We actually met the Night Squad guys at Seattle 6, thrown by Zach Eichmann of
Okay.
17-bit. Yeah. That's where we met those guys, and yeah, that was our first kind of foray into showing it. We applied for the Indie Mega Booth, but we didn't get in because it was kind of just not quite there yet. So we got
Okay.
in on the side, polished it up, and then we got invited for the next 2 PAXs. So that was good.
You got invited for the next two PAXs?
After PAX Prime last year.
What do you mean invited? You got with Mega Booth or?
Oh yeah, sorry, with Mega Booth. We applied
okay.
at Mega Booth, and they're like, "Cool, let's do it," and then we.
Okay, cool.
And we love showing our game. Like it's so much fun. Holy crap! I'm just in love with showing games. I actually didn't know I loved showing games until I worked on Crypt of the Necrodancer with Ryan Clark. And I got to show that game, and that game is like the most fun to show ever because everybody gets into that game, and everybody's on the dance mat, and everybody's having an amazing time.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I remember those. So how how do you that's a tricky question. Maybe please don't answer it if you don't want to. But how can you afford that? Because like when you started as an indie, going around the world with presenting your game to PAXs, it's like 3,000 or 4,000 every time, and
Yeah, sure.
like that's a lot of money to invest in your game. Does like the other game that you made in the past allow you to invest in that one? Or?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Shellraiser did really well, and also Nick, back in 2007, worked with MetaNet on N+.
Okay. Oh,
for
okay.
Xbox 360, which still actually generates money.
Okay.
So
Shellraiser.
that's pretty.
Shellraiser. I'm looking for Shellraiser right now.
Sorry, Shellraiser, SHELLRAZER.
Z instead. Or select iOS.
It'll be iOS
Yeah,
and
the game.
Android.
Yes, I played that game, dude. This is with the turtle, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's the turtle game.
Man.
Yeah, we actually built that game in about 8 months,
Okay.
and it paid itself off in like 8 days. It was it was just
What? What is that again?
well we built it in 8 months.
Oh, yeah.
About eight months to make it, And then the game, like we got featured back when you could get featured.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got featured, and yeah, so we made our money back in like 8 days.
In 8 days, dudes, congrats on that. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
thanks. Yeah. So that did good, and we like took that money and we're like, hey, let's build something more. And then we got Kaylee Charchuk, our designer on now, and now we just took that and used all those funds to kind of get out in our next game, which we're excited for because it's not a mobile game anymore. It's like it'll be a console game. It'll be PS4. It'll be Steam. So.
Dude, I remember Shellraiser. I mean, I remember playing that at Berserk Studio actually, and
oh, really?
It almost popped up an idea for another game. That was like, yeah, this game's pretty cool. Like, I was working on a little prototype that was like something like that, but I was like, those guys really nailed it. So yeah, the polish is really there, man.
Oh, cool, thanks.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Was it part of the big plan? I mean, did you plan that when you started Shellraiser? Or did you say like, okay, we won't start with a console game first because we don't have the money. Let's start with something small or something like that. Was it like? Making a game on console the big goal, or you just like follow the flow and that's it?
Well, I think what basically happened was Nick worked with Case, who was like the artist that was here before. He's like a technical artist, and Case said like, I want to do something else. Nick's like, cool, have a good one. So Case bailed, and then Nick had like a bit of money left, and then he approached me. He's like, hey, look, Jess, let's just split this money. Let's just make a game, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That was basically the pitch. It didn't really go as far as that. So we went out drinking, and I showed him all these pictures of this turtle with guns on his back, and it started out like, that's a pretty good idea, but then it's like an amazing idea by the end of the night. And we're like, okay, let's just make this. So we just kind of started working on it, and it just came together really quick. And then we realized we hated making levels, so we got Shane Neville on board, which was huge because he just loves turning dials and tuning a lot like Kaylee does as well. Me and Nick realized we can generate a lot of content, but to make that content into like levels and cool, fun, playable stuff, it's definitely not in our wheelhouse. So it's awesome to get help for that.
Yeah. Well, correct me if I'm wrong. This game was free with microtransaction, right? Am I wrong?
Well, initially it cost $1.99, I think was the cost, and you could also buy coins if you wanted, but you never actually needed to.
Okay.
Which is actually a funny story. So it got some traction, right? Like it did pretty well. And Shane went to do an interview with this company out of Korea, down in San Francisco, and they're like, we like your game, but you can beat it without spending any money. And Shane's like, yeah, okay, we're done here. And he just left. Which is it's cool that devs still have scruples and stuff like that. But yeah.
I actually made a whole episode of In Your Face about that. Like, make your game like enjoyable first, and then ask for money. Like, I mean, you should not have to pay for, just like to fast forward or something like that. But like, if you don't want to pay, you're good. You can still play the game and don't pay at all.
Oh yeah. So, I'm the same. I'm the same way, and I know it's got to be tempting because a lot of those companies that do that stuff, they just kill it. They make so much money. But I've actually seen like I've actually met people that have that problem of, yeah, I'm not allowed to put my credit card on my phone because I'll just spend all my money on Simpsons Tap Out or whatever, right? Like,
yeah.
There's actually people with like problems, and we're kind of people that prey on that kind of like kind of lame.
Yeah, you have to find a good spot, right? Because like there's I know that when I started those episodes on microtransaction, actually, it was because there was like one guy made a big article saying microtransactions are destroying the industry, like a bold statement like that. If you ask for money in your game, you're fucking horrible, So they were comparing the thing with Dungeon Keeper back then.
Right.
They made
that EA debacle. Yeah.
Yeah, that was Dungeon Keeper.
I love that game growing up so much. I was so crazy about Dungeon Keeper growing up, and then I see that, and it was just like the craziest. It's like that. Oh my god, my childhood, right in the childhood.
Yeah, exactly. So they did a bad job, but like just saying that microtransaction was the culprit, I was like, hang on, there's still a way that you can ask for money like without like taking the player by the legs and just like shaking him until he has all the coins up, So you can still have some respect with that. So that started my microtransaction thing.
Yeah,
so.
I think it's good. Yeah, because we are we are doing this for like our career, like for money. Like we're not just like making charity games or something, right? Like this is actually a job. So yeah, I think some people forget about that.
Yeah, and it's something that sometimes they don't understand that how much money it is to involve. Like before, I had the funds for Just Chips and Beats. So like, well, we need money for Just Chips and Beats. So, but I don't have now. I don't have any money right now. So it's too much of a risk to work on that. And people were like, "Oh well, we can donate money." It was like, "Okay, can you donate me like $200,000?" It's like that's what I need. Like, well, that's a lot of money. Yeah, but if you have to pay this and this and that, so I just said all the details of that budget, and in the end it was like, okay, yeah, you're right. So that's like I have to find a solution first, So that's
see. I think that's really cool though, because everybody got really mad at Double Fine, for example. What'd you do with all that money? And then Shaver's like, of course, here's how much it costs to run a studio.
Yeah.
And that's information that a lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
Because it's a crazy pile of money.
Yeah. When you don't know about game development, you don't know how it is involved. Like some people say, "Hey, they should have done that." Well, it's not a button. Like we're not like with the LUT with the button saying like, "Okay, we're gonna add that feature, boop, and then that feature, boop." There's actually money involved into that and bugs and stuff, whatever. So yeah, but I love to be super transparent with the audience. Actually, that's what I love about Twitch. So I can, on a daily basis, always talk about it, and I love to just share the numbers and say that that's the reality. I would love to work on that project. I have my heart in there. I know it's a good project, but I don't have the funds. So if I go there and I fail, my kids don't eat. So that's kind of I don't want them to die. So
you're our consumers are already really smart. Like they're already actively searching, is this game worth it? Is this worth that? And you're actually making them even smarter by having them have access to that information. And I think that's just super great.
Yeah. Well, you're doing the same with Twitch actually. I mean, you have your Twitch. When is your Twitch channel actually? Just talk about yourself. When is your schedule and everything? Like talk about your Twitch.
So every Wednesday I do dev streams. I get up and I'll draw stuff and put stuff into the game. And Kaylee and Nick and a lot of times our audio guys are in chat. Like everyone's in chat Wednesdays. So today actually at 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. PST.
Okay.
Then Nick Wanders does a code stream the day after, so Thursday. Starts around 3, goes to it's a lot more loose.
Okay.
And sometimes I also do art streams with a buddy of mine, Molten Ink. He's a 2D artist, and I sometimes do that on the weekend. I'm starting to do that more because I like dual streams. It's kind of like battling artists. So there's 2 screens, and I always try to draw fast with them and make fun of them and stuff. It's great.
Sweet. So every Wednesday at 4 to 7 PST, and same thing on Thursday. All right, note that down, guys. Please follow those guys. Slicks Entertainment INC, right?
Yeah. Slick Entertainment, Inc. INC. And so Wednesdays 4 to 6, and Thursdays there's code, and and as we get closer, we're thinking of maybe doing more, maybe doing less, but definitely always the Wednesday, definitely always art. And
I just send you a follow right there. So I follow those guys. There's a little link right over there. You got partner recently, actually, like 2 weeks ago. You got partner. How did that happen? You got like a couple of followers, and then bam, partner. Like whoa.
So basically what ended up happening was we were doing streams, and it was getting we get hosted by some guys, and we actually met a lot of great people at TwitchCon. We met a lot of great Twitch streamers at all the PAXs and stuff. Yeah. And then when we started drawing stuff and people started liking it, and then all of a sudden we did the transcoding. Is that what it's called? When the video kind of cuts out halfway through and then it comes back on again. It's like some kind of crazy glitch. I'm pretty sure it's transcoding. I think that's what it's called. But anyways, so our streams would be cut up, and Nick just got frustrated. He's like, "What the hell's going on?" So we got mad, and then he kind of wrote Twitch an email. He's like, "Hey, so what's with the transcoding? Can we get this fixed or something?" And the guy's like, "Oh, okay, you're part of the game development thing. I guess there's not too many of those. So would you like to be partnered?" That's basically how it happened. Yeah, okay. Right. Because Nick's like, "Here's a problem. I gotta fix it." So he's like, "Oh, what's with all this transcoding stuff?" And then that's and what's really funny is that was literally 2 days before I left to TwitchCon for San Francisco. It's just like very, very, very
So
bizarre.
you got partner 2 days before going to TwitchCon.
Yeah, it was really strange. And there's actually a party. He's like,
Okay.
"Well, are you partnered?" And I'm like, "Well, I got partnered 2 days ago." And they're like, "Well, let me see the email." I'm like, "I don't got the email. It's the business email."
I'm
And
above
guy's
the
like,
emails.
yeah, exactly. So it's weird, but I actually think it's because like Twitch has a lot of like variety streamers, like people that play games and stuff. But they don't have too many people that like on the creative side or on the
Yeah.
like game development side.
They're working a lot on that, actually. They are working a lot on that. They want game dev on Twitch.
Yeah, and so there you go. That's basically the reason why we got partnered so quickly. Because and we don't have a lot of followers. Like we got a great set of followers, but we're not like pulling in crazy numbers, right?
One day you will. It will be front page as well.
Yeah, sure, let's do it.
Let's do it. Man. What else? I had some questions. Let's go check the audience, actually. I think that the audience just slowing down. How about in the chat, maybe? Hey, guys, if you have any question for Jesse, please spam the chat with your beautiful questions. Animation process, I did said that. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the audience, actually.
Super Kill Matic asks, is it a feast or famine industry? And I guess you could say...
Okay.
Yeah, sure. I guess you could say that. It definitely helps to be good with money, which is something that I'm working on. But just to know to like hedge your bets, right? Like Nick for example has been making games for so long. He can actually kind of like ballpark like, okay, I think this is how much we'll put in. This is how much we should get out, and he plays it safe because he's been in for a while. So, but definitely sometimes when you're working on a game for a long time, it feels like, oh man, like we got to get this out soon, and then there's like a little bit of like scaredness in there, but yeah.
Sometime I think it was Chance Awesome Games who told me like making a game like it's like buying a lottery ticket, but making a game with experience like behind your back is buying a ticket but knowing the first 3 digits. So like after an experience, it's still a lottery. You still don't know, but you kind of know that it's gonna give you like this amount of money, whatever, you know. So I just love that expression, actually. But yeah, I don't know about the feast or famine, but I definitely should say Edmund McMillan actually give like the best advice I ever received. Like fall in love with the process of making games, just like, not shipping game, but the process, the craft of making games. He says actually that releasing a game is super scary. In an interview, he was saying that. It was like you're working on that special thing that it's yours, it's completely yours, and then you give it to everybody, just like. Just like if you had your girlfriend and then you give it to the rest of the world. It was like that's weird. I was talking something like that, but yeah, fall in love with the craft of making game.
Yeah, that's some really good advice from a really talented developer, obviously.
Dude, look at you. Question. We got another one here. Lachhh and friends. In your opinion, how much the harmony between art, music, and code is important in the game?
Wow. Okay, I see. How much important? How? Yeah, got it. Huh. That's I think that's of course, in my opinion, it's got to be it's got to be good. It all has to gel. It all has to work. I think the easiest way for that to work is just trust everyone you're working with. What's kind of cool about a team where you trust them? It's like, I know the game's gonna be running 60 frames and it's gonna be smooth and it's gonna be really, really awesomely put together because Nick's on it. I know the enemies are gonna be fun and they're gonna be balanced and they're gonna be tough and they're gonna be enjoyable to fight because Kaylee's on it. So I can actually just rest easy and just know that that's just gonna work. And it's up to me and these guys, they trust me that I'm gonna put enough art in the game that people think it looks okay. And it feels like as long as you trust everyone that's on your team and what they can do, their capabilities, because it's not like I'm going to go over to Nick and be like, hey Nick, can you fix this code? Like I'm not going to, because that's just not my jam, right? So I think I think if you trust everyone, the harmony is just going to happen. It's just yeah.
Good answer, man. Got another one by the Renaissance Man saying, how do you make games if you are not particularly good at making artwork but are good at programming? I guess I'll take that one.
Yeah, definitely. you just do what Lachhh is doing.
Okay, how do you make games? Well, if you are a programmer, if you're a coder actually, you have the luxury of being able to make games by yourself. Like, I will say that because like an artist cannot make games. You have at one point handle with codes. Even if it's game maker or whatever, you have to handle with some code. So you have the luxury of doing that. I would say like make prototypes and make a lot of little prototypes. Small, okay, scope small, that's for sure. But make a lot of prototypes and check out which one is really like this is the one who could take off. You know. That will be my advice. Do a couple of like game jam and stuff. But if you are starting out before making your own game, I had that advice at one point, and I really love it. Before working on your own game, you have to make 3 games first. You have to make Pong, Breakout, and Asteroid. Make those 3 games, and then you are allowed to make your RPG, MMORPG playable with a DDR mat or whatever, you know? Because you're gonna know what's involved in game development, and then you're gonna say like, okay, that's gonna take like 3 months. That feature is awesome, but it's gonna take like 2 years to make. Can I cut it down? Whatever, you know.
Oh, that's a great answer. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I really love that. I mean, that's not from me though. I forgot the source, but yeah, I won't take credits for it. So I guess we're gonna take like one last question. So I can give you a okay. That's a solution.
Fan of the beard. Thanks, Janu. Thank you.
I love the beard. There you go.
Love the beard, yeah.
I'm trying though. I'm trying. I'm trying to reach your stage. We got Puzzle Gamer saying, "How far out in the future do you plan your next game?"
Ooh. I don't know. I don't really have another game like well, everyone has a million game ideas kicking around their head, of course. But I actually my favorite part of developing is actually I actually have a lot of it around the office. Actually, the is doing our game development documentation. If that that just came out terribly. Okay, so my favorite part about making a game is the early phase when it's just ideas on paper, and I have like a lot of like I have a lot of examples of from Viking Squad and from Shellraiser and stuff where whenever we wanted to show an idea, I just got to like draw it. I just got to like draw the idea, and everybody just instantly got it because it's way easier to see visually a certain mechanic than I write 3 paragraphs and I hand it to you and I say read this, Lachhh, and you're like you know, it's a little bit easier if you draw it. So that's actually like my favorite part of developing is just like coming out with these little like plates. I have some examples somewhere. Let me find one. I'm gonna find one.
So you do some game design doc at the beginning?
Yeah, I do. I actually do a lot. I'm gonna find it here, and maybe I can switch the. I can go into screen share for a second. I'm gonna show you some old. Well, it's not old, I guess. Old. Let's see here.
I don't know if you can share a screen or something, because we basically I'm not gonna say like never, but make a Word document, for example, saying like this is gonna be this and that and blah blah. We always made like well, actually, you know, let's go back to the source of Music Studio. We were 1 coder, 2 artists, so I was always busy making games, you know. So I was always working with 1 artist while the other one was working on the design of the next game, always, you know. So we made that for like 25 games. But what they did was just open Flash, draw stuff, and just like, okay, this is what will be the interface, there will be that thing, blah, blah. And as you said, just like have a visual representation of like, this is going to be that, this is going to be this, blah, blah, blah. So that's how we did that. But to get back on the question, like if I have to answer it, like how far in the future you'll play the next game, I'm already, on my case, I'm already working like on 3 different projects. And I have like other projects that are unfinished, like Frantic Frigate 2. I would love to finish that out. There's Mark that's waiting for me to start a project as well called Bloody Muscles.
Yep, Bloody Muscles, right.
And as I said, there's another one. Where do baby come from RPG? That's another real thing I want to do myself, you know. So I already have like 6 ideas for the next 5 years, so I can just pick in there. And right now I'm so focused on the actual one. So.
Right, yeah. Oh, there's Kevin.
Something?
There's Kevin in the chat right there. How's it going, Kev?
What's up? You have some stuff? Did you have it?
Yeah, I do. I don't know how I'm gonna screen share. I'm not very good with Skype. Let me
Print it and put it on the camera.
I can. Okay, I guess I could do that. Okay, one second. Like I'm gonna pick the camera up. Okay, so.
What? Whoa, there was a secret character here.
Can you see?
Yeah, we can totally.
You see that? Not bad.
Oh.
I think Nick still no. Did Nick steal that from Oktoberfest? I don't know. Okay, so can you kind of see this image?
Yep. Choose
okay.
gods in class.
So this is actually some of the first stuff we started doing at the beginning just to get ideas going. Like this is.
Did you make other color and everything?
Oh yeah, this is just all me, and this is all of us.
Yeah, but I mean,
we just came up with the idea.
I mean, at first, did you clean all that? Because this looks awesome. It looks like the back of like this is like a finished project right there.
Yeah. So this isn't kind of what we ended up with, of course, because your game. Was in my experience, your game's never what you initially thought it was going to be. It just it grows and it changes as you go. So if you actually look down here, we actually thought that how cool would it be if we only get 3 hits, but during a brawler you just get hit too many times. Over to here we have this kind of FTL kind of design going on. We want to be able to steal like Cthulhu gods and stuff like that. They initially all the Vikings were just generic dudes, so it was fun to actually change that and make them all characters now.
Put your camera down just a little bit so we can see. We only see the first two.
Oh,
yeah, there you go. Cool.
There you go. Okay, cool.
Yeah, perfect. Pillage with your paws.
I'm gonna skip the next exit. So then we wanted to have you actually pick different weapons. You can unlock them as you go.
Yeah.
And this was fun because this was on my phone, and I pitched this for like a couple conventions. Just like I just showed people about the game so they could get into it.
Okay.
Every weapon was going to be played a little bit differently, and that actually did stay in the game. It came out. Choosing different gods. If you can actually steal gods, and you can actually get blessed by different gods, and it gives you different powers and stuff like that. Okay, and all this was just to kind of get the gears turning of what we can add to the game. This is kind of like how the game really works.
Nice.
It's all in lanes, right? And you can tell where your things are actually hitting, so you actually know you shuck up and shuck down into the different lanes, and that's how you can stay kind of that's how you can like dodge attacks and aim attacks a little bit easier as well. This is kind of like the mantra that came through the whole game, and definitely is there in the final product.
I love how you present it, by the way. Just like if you go back just a bit, I love how you use the the place where you present the lanes.
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
This one, I love how concise this is. I mean, just with the colors and everything, and you put the little blocks saying like this color, and you took the color of the effect to present the gameplay. That's fucking brilliant. We see that you have experience right there. I mean, I really love that screen.
Thanks. This one's funny. So we wanted to treat death a little bit interesting because you're gonna die in a brawler, right? Like the enemy's gonna get too much. So initially we wanted. And it's actually still like this in the game, but initially when you die, we want the Valkyries to come down, and you can beat them off, like you just like attack them and get rid of them. No.
Get attack death.
Yeah, exactly. And then the more you die, the more they come. But it turned into just this total shit show, right? Because you're fighting a lot of enemies and they're overwhelming you, and then we just throw more enemies at you. So it didn't make any sense, but it's still presented here in like a fun way. This is kind of cool.
That's a cool concept.
Then we wanted to keep the controls simple, of course, so we did this one and actually the controls actually remain pretty much the same, which is cool. Yeah, so just more examples of that kind of stuff. Here's some ideas for some bad guys with their crazy gods they worship. Here's another idea of a lunging attack on the lanes, so you can kind of bring that into the same kind of deal. Yeah, and these are kind of just things that can happen in the game, just like quick little blitz of. So you can actually have cover in a system like this. You can actually jump jump over cover and things like that.
That's our like examples of how you can exploit the mechanics of the lanes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Dude, that is very elaborate. It feels like a pitch more than.
This. Yeah, and that's kind of like what it was. I'll just turn you guys around here. Put you back up. That's probably the shakiest view you've ever seen.
That's good. It feels live. It feels authentic.
Well, the arts are cool. Thanks,
but yeah, I mean that feels like an actual pitch, not something that you just brainstorming. So did you present that pitch to publishers, or did you try to, did you make that pitch for yourself?
The pitch is kind of just for the company. It's just what I end up doing when I work on games. I have a lot of them are from Shellraiser. I have another Match 3 game I wanted to make with Nick. I have a bunch of designs up on the wall. But yeah, that's just kind of how my process is. So it's like if the pitch wasn't made for publishers or anybody, because it's not polished. Like I ran around.
It's not polished.
Well, not
What?
background AAA. Like, man, we'd give something like those to my job in AAA at the beginning was actually do a bunch of rough work and give it to a finishing artist.
Okay.
So like, in my experience, typically what ends up happening is
you see that you can do better. You see that, and I guess like in your head. It's
I don't know
like,
if I can do better, but I know somebody can.
Okay,
And so like that, those images were basically pitched just to my fellow developers in like bars and stuff, and at PAX and at GDC, and I'd just sit there and I'd swipe it across my phone, and I'd be like, and here's the game, and here it is, and I'd try to get people excited about the idea, and it really resonated with a lot of people, and they got really excited about it too, and that kind of just reinforced me. I'm like, well, I gotta get do it. We gotta get doing this. We gotta get doing this. So, yeah, it's very, very cathartic to do.
That is a lot of effort for a pitch that you keep for yourself. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm very amazed of the amount of.
Yeah, I guess that's right. But I'm always gonna have it, and I think a lot of people appreciate it, and I think I think some advice I'd like to give artists starting out is build yourself a little bit for speed, because there's not a lot of artists that are built for speed. There's a lot of artists that are built for like super sexy images, and they're amazing. But if you build yourself for speed, you're gonna get a lot of stuff done. I don't know, it might not be the best stuff, but you're gonna get a lot more, just a lot more stuff done. And I think I have to quote Kaylee. Kaylee always says, like, games are just lots of stuff in it. You just got to keep putting more stuff in it until it's done.
Yeah.
And I think being a fast artist is pretty helpful.
We got a good question on the matter actually. Robert Fisher is asking any tips on improving drawing speed.
Oh, there you go. So that is easy. That just means you need to stop worrying about drawing bad. Because
critic, Jose.
Yeah, stop critiquing. Stop making your lines too small. Just like go and celebrate it, because I can tell, and I think a lot of people can tell, if when you drew something or when you created something and you didn't have fun doing it, you can just tell it's stiff and there's no fun in it. And I think if like love my art or hate my art, I definitely will fight to the death the fact that I did have a good time when I drew it, and I think it's important to be able to have fun what you're doing, and if you are, and by focusing on speed, is how I started. Is before I draw one big thing, I draw like 10 little things, right?
Okay.
Just like whatever. It can be thumbnails. It can be little monsters. When I started, all I draw every lunch hour, I drew like a dude riding a monster with a weird weapon in his hand. That's all I drew, because you're drawing people, so that's good. You're drawing monsters, which is even better, and you're drawing like crazy tech weaponry. So it just came from doing a lot of drawing, and I know everybody says that, but drawing more, like you can never be worse from practice. Like you can never get bad from practicing too much, right? You can only get better. So find the time and just crank that out, right?
Do you do everything with hand drawing, or do you do some sketch on papers, on actual paper, or is everything on the computer?
It's becoming less and less on paper. It's a little bit on the train and stuff, just because, like, man, once you get into digital drawing, like, oh, you can cheat like crazy. like copying things over, mirroring things, like rotating, borrowing, like it's like just kit bashing. You've seen those crazy guys that just take like 6 F-16s and cram them together and make it look like the coolest spaceship ever. Like, but But I gotta remember my roots. My roots is like mechanical pencils and loose leaf paper, and drawing on the bus. So I think it's like I don't draw as often in analog as I should, because it's just so much fun to do it digitally. And
what was I about to say? You use Photoshop, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
We use Photoshop CS3, and we always get ragged on for it from other artists and stuff like that, because it's like an older version of Photoshop or whatever. Really.
Yeah.
But really, you guys were. I was watching the Rice Pirate interview you did, and he's a big fan of which Flash was it?
CS3.
CS3, and this is CS3 for Photoshop, which is really bizarre.
Yeah, I mean, dude, the rest of my team, like Etienne and Mark, just put it in my face every single day since that interview with Rice Pirate, because we have like a long story of like, I was like, can we update to like a newer version, because there's some cool stuff and codes and everything, and then like it was like, no, CS3 is the beast, and I was like, come on, it's time to upgrade sometime. So I was like having an ongoing argument with them, So you know, over the time, I understood that Flashy History like is a better animate. It's a better version for animators and artists.